Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you, Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen. Early break, full show ahead. Plenty to get to from over the weekend. Another devastating loss for Nebraska. They clenched defeat from the jaws of victory in East Lansing, led by 7 points late in the fourth quarter.
Man,
there were two things you could not do on the punt for Nebraska. Number one was get it blocked.
Yeah. Good point.
Number two was give up a return for a touchdown. Pretty much an untouched touchdown by Michigan State. And that is how you take defeat from the jaws of victory, Sip.
Yeah, I'm not, somewhat that I laugh when I'm nervous.
Uh-huh.
And I laugh when things are uncomfortable. It drives people in my life crazy. But that's what I'm doing right now. That I don't know what to do. I mean, it was amazing. What else we got to talk about?
Well, we're going to talk about that game a lot because we have to.
Well, we have to.
care about on the show.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very complex discussion right now surrounding Nebraska football, wouldn't you say?
It is, because here's the issue with Nebraska is that they're a pretty good football team. They really are. And you can't, it's hard to even deny that. If you're out there and you're an anti-Frost or anti-Frost staff person, I mean, there's certainly some weaknesses on the staff that are somewhat glaring right now for Nebraska. And although those spots had some better success in the second half, talking about the offensive line, they were better. Horrible first half.
Well, they had the
better
ball.
Second
they
half.
had the ball the whole game practically. The third quarter they had.
They were better in the second half.
Yeah,
they were better.
Right.
But
some of that was a product.
But Nebraska is, again, they've said this all year long. Nebraska, they're close. I mean, you heard last week against Oklahoma. We're close. I'm sick of being close. We're close. You had a chance on Saturday to get over that hump. You're up by 7 points.
They had all the momentum.
Your defense once again played lights out like they have been the last 4 games. And the majority of the Illinois game, they had a rough third quarter there. Yeah,
even better.
They played great. I mean, they played winning football. They were absolutely awesome on Saturday, and the offense, did enough. It wasn't great, but they're up by 7. You're up by 7 late in the fourth quarter with a chance to punt away and let your defense do your thing and win that football game. And your special teams punch to the wrong side of the field, and everything else goes to hell. And the game is lost in overtime because of a interception by Martinez, a field goal by Michigan State. And here we go, a game that was all Nebraska the whole way through. Not the whole way through. I take that back.
Not the whole way.
It looked Nebraska the whole second half.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah. Yep.
Ends up in a Michigan State win. Another win for Mel Tucker against Nebraska in a game it didn't look like it was going to be their game the whole way through. Right?
Well,
Colorado 2019, same thing. Nebraska had that game in hand for the majority of that football game.
And Nebraska goes up. It was amazing, really. It was incredible to cover and watch. And
amazing.
Yeah, they go up
capacity.
Amazing in that. Here's what amazing. Right. Here's what's amazing. Nebraska goes up 20-13 with 7:29 left. And you're thinking, what?
They're gonna do it.
Yeah,
they are going to do it.
Yeah, because now, your defense is really in the mode of shutting them down for the most part. And Michigan State, it looks like you have taken the heart out of Michigan State's offense, right? That's what it looked like to me. So you get that, Jake, you get the 2013 lead, and then what? You force a 3 and out. Michigan State goes 3 and out. Remember Peyton Thorne on 1st and 10 at the 21? Bad throw. Just looked frazzled to me. He made a bad throw on first down. Second down, remember, Garrett Nelson batted down the pass. You're thinking,
Yeah.
oh, God,
Yeah.
the defense is just
Exactly.
the defense is going to close this out. I mean, there's still enough time for Michigan State to do damage, and they did. But okay, 3rd and 10, Reimer and Heinrich get a sack. So that's the Michigan State series right after Nebraska went up 20-13. They forced a 3 and out, right?
Yes.
The problem is then Nebraska goes 3 and out. You know, the punt rolls to the 21, 65-yard punt. We'll get to all that. You know, Bryce Behringer just had a day, right? Their punter hits a 65-yarder, rolls to the 21. Now, again, Nebraska has all the momentum at this point, right?
Yes.
Nebraska has all the momentum. It's 20-13. They force a 3 and out. Michigan State looks like they're caving in. By the way, at that point of the fourth quarter, in the second half, Michigan State had no first downs, and they didn't get a first down. They didn't get a first down in the second half. Michigan State won the game with no first downs in the second half.
Say it again. Say it one more time.
Michigan State won the game with no first downs in the second half. At that point, when Nebraska went up 20-13, Michigan State had 5 total yards in the second half. Still won the game somehow. So then Nebraska goes 3 and out. It was a bad 3 and out. That hurt. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I kind of fault the second down call. It was a 2nd and 5 at Nebraska's 26. And they just ran Rahmir right into the line, Rahmir Johnson. So I don't know. I thought that I said to Parker, I think you need to be a little more aggressive than that. Then of course they just ran the QB draw on 3rd and 4, and boom, he got a punt, and there it goes.
It's just again,
there it goes the punt. Now now hold on. The punt was amazing. He missed his mark by 40 yards. Okay.
He missed his mark by 40 yards.
Yeah.
That game had 2 shanked punts in it,
Right.
by Pristup.
Yeah. So now you're down
And
to
then
Cherney.
Cherney comes in.
Yeah. One of them punted 3 times and one of them punted 4, and they averaged 32.7 yards between them. It was a debacle. Pristup on his 7-yarder. I thought maybe did it get tipped or something? No, it didn't get tipped. He almost whiffed on it.
Watch the replay. He barely hit that
Yeah,
football. He almost dropped the ball just on the ground as he's trying to kick it.
Okay, so just to drive home, I'm sure most people have gained a full understanding of what happened on Cherney's punt, but it's incredible. If you haven't watched the video, have you watched the video?
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch because, first of all, the coverage is way ahead of the punt. So the coverage overruns the punt that goes to the wrong side of the field. The guy had a waltz into the end zone because there was no defense. I mean, there's one defender to beat, basically. He had to beat one defender. That is called cataclysmic. I mean, it was remarkable. He was supposed to punt to the right side. That's all he had to do. He didn't even have to hit it. He could have hit a 35-yarder as long as it went to the right side instead of the left side. They would have been okay probably. But instead he hits it to the left side. The coverage is all run. You can see the punt flying in the air, and the guys are running to the right. I can't imagine what they thought when they saw Jaden Reed
On the other side
field
of the
the
field.
ball. I can't imagine what went through their mind. Well, I can't imagine it. I'm sure it was, what the hell?
Profanity.
Yeah.
Screaming.
Yeah. Now, somehow Daniel Cherney's got to face teammates. Maybe that's not so hard these days. I don't know. Maybe it's not a problem at all. But I mean, Jake, come on. The defense was playing at a level where you're pretty confident if you just hit a normal punt. Right?
Just hit the ball out of bounds. Just kick a ball out of bounds.
That would have been fine.
The announcers even say, just kick this ball out of bounds before the punt even happened.
Yeah.
They said, Nebraska probably just kick this ball out of bounds, right? Just your defense is holding them. Just don't shank it, but make sure you hit it out of bounds. Don't even give them a chance to return it.
It's amazing.
And as you said, I mean, even said, but that was their first punt return touchdown in 10 years.
Yeah. Since
that program's first punt return touchdown in 10 seasons, and they have the 2 returner approach, which worked out for that one because Nebraska's own punter fooled their own special teams.
Right. Overtime.
Like, this is incredible. It's special teams. They look like they fixed some things. Culp has redemption, makes a field goal, hits his extra points.
Hits a couple field goals. Hits 228 yards.
Right. Okay. Hit his field goals, hits his extra points. You got that fixed. Punt return wasn't a big problem, right? You didn't even try on some of those. Again, you're not trying.
Well,
which is one thing.
Yeah, they gave up probably. I mean, they just let the ball roll, and in the end, Frost. It was fascinating. Frost said we probably gave up 200 to 300 hidden yards. He's not exaggerating. If you add it all up, it's amazing that were in position to win that game. It's a testament to the defense, and it's a testament to Adrian. Let's face it. Who's playing at a super high level, and I'll continue to take your apologies.
Oh, Adrian was good. He was not phenomenal in this game. He was good.
Yeah, he
was high on several throws.
I would almost say phenomenal based on how much pressure.
There's a lot of pressure. Not denying
how constantly under pressure and has to carry the offense on his back.
Yes, he had a couple high throws that could have been bigger plays that were unfortunate. But other than that, he played fine. This is not an Adrian.
Fine.
This is not an Adrian.
As Frost said, he's one of the best players in the country right now. He is. He's absolutely one of the best.
He was not the reason why they lost. I mean, that interception was painful in overtime.
Teams aren't even blitzing Nebraska. Why?
Because you can't get him down.
No, that's not why.
Oh, okay.
Because you don't have to. You don't have
That's
to.
true.
Okay, think about
the offensive line.
That's why I'm really going to push back hard on your Adrian played fine. They don't blitz. So what's happening? They're still getting home. The right tackle gave up 14 pressures on his own. Okay?
Yeah, he was
beat
all the time.
The right tackle gave up 14 pressures. All right? Adrian was pressured on well over half of his attempts. Okay? Okay, so Jake, and they're not blitzing.
Nope.
They're not blitzing. So what's that mean?
Your offensive line can't protect.
No, that's not what it means.
What does it mean?
It means you have a bunch of guys in coverage. All right? So not only is he getting pressure, he's looking at a defensive backfield that has 7-8 guys all the time. Okay? So don't give me Adrian played fine. He wasn't great.
That wasn't a pushback. I just said he played good enough football.
Yeah, he played outstanding.
That wasn't
football.
Me saying he played a bad.
Nobody wants to admit it because you're wrong. You were wrong about him all off season, like everybody else was. Okay, Adrian's playing like one of the best players in the country. Yeah, I know you don't want to admit it. I wouldn't admit it if I was you either, because you have to admit again you're wrong on Adrian. But that's the way it is. Anyway. Now you could say this: he didn't play well in overtime.
He did not.
No, he botched it in overtime. He had Falk running up the seam, no pressure on him. Missed him.
Yep.
Had Omar Manning open. Missed him.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that. He did not. Overtime. Missed all. Okay, he had 3 open guys on first down. He threw low to Omar on second down. And then, I don't know. I don't know what he did.
I don't know exactly what was on the interception play.
He threw it to the outside slant guy when he should have thrown to the inside slant guy. Yeah, it was.
He forced that one badly.
Right,
forced it.
Yeah. So no, I will say that he did not have a good overtime series. Bad overtime series, actually. But they would not have been in overtime without Adrian.
You just wonder, and you just wonder what this team would look like if the offensive line would protect for him. I mean,
yes.
I'll say what you said one more time. The right tackle gave up 14 pressures by himself. That's one player.
Hold on, I'll get you some numbers.
Giving an incredible amount of pressures for a full game by one person. That can't happen. That's not going. You can't win football games, and Nebraska almost won the football game despite that stat.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I go crazy on the Adrian thing, and I almost apologize to you, but he has to do way too much, is what I'm getting at. All right. I'm sorry, but he does.
Nebraska,
I'm going to get you a stat.
Nebraska puts a lot on the shoulders of Martinez to just make plays, avoid sacks, because the offensive line cannot protect for him.
That's why I take issue, and this is not you. This is a lot of people. Okay. Can I give you some stats straight out of Parker Gabriel's story today? Get ready for this, Jake. Get ready. Okay, we're on the offensive line right now, okay? This is why I push back so hard on Adrian. Adrian just plays okay. That I'm not. It's fine. I'm not attacking you. I don't want to do that. According to Pro Football Focus data, This is incredible. Like, it's almost like what I read here it's surreal. According to Pro Football Focus data, Michigan State blitzed Nebraska 4 times on 47 dropbacks, but got pressure 28 times, including 7 sacks. Okay? They blitzed only 4 times on 47 dropbacks, but got pressure 28 times. Okay, now that's why I reacted with anger, because he's sitting back there. They're not blitzing, so he's got pressure on him 28 times, and what's he staring at? No open receiver. Well, he overthrew a couple guys. Yeah, exactly. The pressure rate last in that game was 59.6%. So he was pressured on 60% of his passes, which was NU's worst of the season in a bad season, right?
I just can't get over the fact that 28 pressures.
Yeah.
28 pressures at quarterback.
With 4 blitzes. They blitzed 4 times. That's an incredibly low number, okay?
To have that many pressures.
Yeah. Okay, so per Pro Football Focus data, Nebraska's last 3 opponents, Buffalo, Oklahoma, and Sparty, have blitzed on just 13% of the passing attempts, but got pressure on a whopping 63 times out of 110 dropbacks. They're not blitzing and getting pressure 60% of the time. Okay? Their defenses are not blitzing and can you take this in? Can you understand what I'm saying?
I'm taking it. It's very painful. I am taking it in.
Opponents are not blitzing and getting to the quarterback 60% of the time. Okay? It's incredible. This is what Parker wrote. Jacob Panusiak was the defensive end facing Nebraska's right tackle. He said Panusiak against Benhart was not a fair fight most of the night.
Well,
Panusiak finished with 7 tackles and 2 of Michigan State's 7 sacks. 7 sacks.
And there's a couple times Adrian again escaped pressure and either made a throw or
made an incredible run.
Right.
The 45-yard run.
He saves them by him. Yeah, the 45-yard run was he should have been down 3 different times.
It was incredible.
In the backfield.
Yeah, now forgive me, but that's why I bite back so hard, and I will bite back harder, because they're asking way too much of him once again. Now they've put weapons around him, and I commend the staff for that.
Well, I think the reason why you have that people are maybe thinking Adrian wasn't great is just because the overtime. That's the painful part.
There was a couple series that
the drive that Nebraska went up 20-13 was a great football drive. He made plays, he escaped pressure, but that was a well-called drive. The touchdown was well blocked. Corcoran had a nice block, Brewington a nice block there to give him a nice easy touchdown for Adrian. But that was like, all right, look, they did it. They put it together. They're going to win this football game. They had all these problems with pressures, and still they put together a nice drive. They scored, and this is going to be where we build on this game and get this season going somewhere.
Totally agree.
Right?
Totally.
That was an awesome drive.
Yeah, totally agree.
That was a drive. 11 plays, 80 yards, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. You're like, this is it. We're going to do it. They're going to overcome all these problems and still win a football game against a decent squad on the road.
Exactly. That's what I thought. And how quickly did it turn, though?
Well, it turned because of a punt return.
I know. It turned so quickly. Nebraska had all the momentum, and then it didn't.
I think in 2014 when Nebraska went to Michigan State, and Pearson, they're dead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Pearson is that punt return. They have a chance to win the game at the end. They lost, but that return changed the game in a second.
Yeah, I know.
They were dead.
Yeah, they were dead.
Same thing Michigan State. Their offense could not move the ball. If the defense has a chance, there's no guarantee they don't stop. They stop them, but you feel pretty dang good about their chance because guess what? We talked about all week long. Kenneth Walker, best running back in the league, wasn't a problem. 19 carries, 61 yards, along with 23, an average of 3.2.
No, you shut him down.
He didn't do anything.
You shut him down.
Nebraska's run defense shut him down. The pass defense shut him down. Yep. This is, once again, 0 bit of a defensive discussion.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
They're playing lights out right now.
So what?
Or close to it.
So what? Yeah. So what happened? What happened was remarkable. All you had to do is hit a decent directional punt. Yeah, you're right. At 20-13, see, Michigan State has to get in the end zone. I could see him driving a field maybe, but it was going to be hard. I mean, the way the defense was playing, it was going to be hard to get in the end zone, right? I mean, I could see him getting in field goal position, but that wasn't going to do it. The way the defense was playing, Michigan State's chances of getting in the end zone, it was going to be really difficult. So that's what you're thinking, you know. And then the punt goes. We got a lot of raft of
calls to get to. I know it's probably a lot of anger on the phone lines.
I wonder, is it anger?
Well, it's not the fact you didn't get blown out. Like you're in these games. The defense again is keeping you alive. The defense is playing so well right now. And I watched guys walk off the field like JoJo Domann, and I feel so bad because he played a great game. All these guys played tremendous games.
Well, think about it.
And they just feel like, what do we have to do?
Well, one other thing. This is the year 2021, and Nebraska's point totals don't jibe with the year 2021. 20 against Michigan State.
Okay.
16 against Oklahoma. Okay. 28 against Buffalo. Okay. Forget Florida. We're talking about FBS. And 22 against Illinois. Jake, that's not enough.
That's not going to do it.
No, that's not enough. That's not enough offense. You can't hang it on the defense. That's not enough offense.
No, I don't think anybody is. No person in the right mind should be hanging Nebraska's 2-3 start on the defense, because if you do, I will come after you and say you are crazy. You are out of your damn mind if you say that. We got some calls. Chris, you start things off an early break. Go ahead.
Well, good morning, Steve, Jake. Hey, listen, you guys, I'm already off my rocker a little bit at my age anyway. So,
yeah, well, me and you both, Chris. How are you doing?
Hey, good, Steve, Jake. No, yeah, I'm, the anger, no, there's been we're all, I think, the last couple of decades kind of numb to this stuff. I mean, it's we see the same thing week in and week out. Although I want to tell you guys this, yeah, there's problems on offense, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. We need to get our running backs going, of course, and then you guys have discussed that the offensive line is a big problem, which I do not understand, because some of these kids were pretty highly recruited coming out of high school. So it just and of course, Steve, Jake, the special teams stuff. It as over a 5 decades season ticket holder, I have never seen anything like this.
Yeah,
every game.
I mean, it's beyond laughable now. On the punt, and you guys, the punt return, you guys have discussed it very well and dissected it. You could see it right away, even on TV, Steve.
Yeah.
That something wasn't quite right there. And then it's been a while since I've seen a kid have to return a punt in a straight line for the end zone.
No, you don't see that.
So we had to run a 60-yard sprint in a straight line to the end zone.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it was just too easy. And of course, that play probably cost us the game right there.
Yeah.
But you know what? Still, Steve, Jake, I come away Saturday night. I thought the best team on the field got beat.
I know.
I thought the way we played, we were 10 to 14 points better than that. That is the best game I've seen our defense play in several years. I mean, and against a ranked opponent on their home field. I tell you what, that defense, that was a great defense. I loved it. I want to see them do that the rest of the year, which, they're going to have to probably do that the rest of the year. But, guys, now, on Adrian Martinez, hey, let's face it, he needs some help. God, he can't carry this load like this.
He is.
On the Big Ten Network yesterday morning, Steve, Jake, Jerry DiNardo said that without Adrian Martinez, he says he didn't know if Nebraska could win 2 or 3 games this year.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And I agree with him. I think when you look at the quarterback play in the Big Ten, which is not really outstanding this year, I think right now, after through 5 games, Adrian Martinez or Penn State's quarterback would probably be the all Big Ten quarterbacks this year.
Yeah,
right?
who you
That
pick?
has a
You take
5 games.
who's taking Clifford
But,
over Martinez though?
He needs help with our running game, but guys, we need to get this. We need a win against Northwestern this week. Looking down the line, Steve, Jake, we're going to play some pretty good defenses, but I don't think anybody's unbeatable down the line.
Nobody.
But we have got to find an offense. Now, I watched Wisconsin and Notre Dame Saturday.
Yeah.
And let me tell you guys, Wisconsin gives up nothing on the ground. That defense of theirs, Notre Dame had, I think they ended up with 3 yards net rushing on 30 carries or something.
Yeah.
Wisconsin is giving up 25 yards a game on the ground at probably, I think, a 1.5 yard per carry clip. But, we're going to play some pretty good defenses down the line. We've got to figure out this running game. Adrian cannot do it alone. We've got it, like you guys said, we have to score more than 20 points a game to win some games. But, guys, I'm going to let you go on that. It's frustrating to watch what's going on over there. And to me, I'm putting this on certain coaches now. It's certain coaches. They come on. We've seen this just way too often. It's certain coaches, and I'm going to leave you guys with. I watched the replay yesterday of Iowa and Colorado State.
Okay.
And Steve, Jake, if Iowa, which this morning is the number 4 team in the nation is in big trouble. So, guys, hey, I'm going to hang up and listen, and great show as usual.
All right, thank you. Chris. Now, Chris, a lot to unpack, but frustrated beyond belief. And Jake, he's right. I don't even know how to process in my mind the special teams errors that I see. I don't know how you can, especially longtime season ticket holders. It's hard to understand what you're seeing.
Well, again, the problem is it's something different every game. The first 3 games, it was kicking. All right. And since then it hasn't,
first 3 games.
Well, sorry, not, well, first game,
punt return.
Kicking and punt return. You had missed extra points. You
had 2 missed extra points.
Sorry.
How often do you see that?
The first 3 games, it was punt return. Excuse me. Then you had kicking come into play against Oklahoma was terrible, and Buffalo was terrible also against them. You didn't need it. You won the game by 25, and then you see punting was the problem. Not only was it the touchdown, but the shanks before it,
and it's all sort of. It's all catastrophe. It's not just it's a little bit of a problem. They got to get that fixed. It's, oh my God, are you serious? It's that.
It can't be.
Major,
not little things. Major problems.
Right.
Left and right.
Yeah. So this time it was the punters, and then on the other end of it, their punters just hitting moonshots all night.
Yeah, he was.
And they're
with the goggles.
Yeah, and they're they're flipping the field constantly. Okay, let's see what Vince says.
Yeah, we got another call from Vince in Napa, California. Go ahead, Vince. You're on early break.
Good morning, fellas.
Oh, geez, Vince. It's okay.
First of all, I can't say enough about the defense. The defense played their ass off, no question. And plus, and here's what makes the defense's performance even more significant, because in the past, particularly in the Frost era, when the defense has played well against a non-conference / maybe non-Power 5 opponent, and then they come around and they get exposed by a Big Ten team. To me, the fact that this is a Power 5 Big Ten team that was ranked, to me, says how far this defense has come. It's just a shame it's a damn shame that they get their efforts wasted. Offense, okay, Adrian made a bad throw in overtime, and he missed several other throws earlier in the game, but I would contend this. If he had an offensive line that he could depend on, in a running game that he could depend on, maybe he wouldn't be so damn skittish every time, every time there's an open receiver. And to your point, what's disturbing about the offensive line, and I'm talking way disturbing, throughout Saturday night, and I would even say the end of the Oklahoma game when we were trying to tie it, how many damn times are we max protecting and a 4-man rush is getting through.
Oh yeah, it's happening all the time.
You mean to tell me we have a damn near 2-1 advantage on the offensive line and
Yeah.
still getting through?
Yep, that's what I mean to tell you. Yeah, that's what I mean to tell you.
Exactly. Hey, Sip, I think that's what you mean to tell me. But as for the special teams, good God, how many games? I mean, it's like we lose 2 or 3 games a year where better special teams alone would have been better, or would have gotten you a win. And like you said, Jake, it's a different damn problem every week.
Yeah.
It's like you're driving a car. All right, one day you got a flat tire. Okay, you fix the tire. Oh, your gasket blows out. But I mean, and with the punt, a 7-yard punt.
7-yard
That
punt.
he did, and in the meantime, their punter is looking like Ray Guy or Shane Leckler flipping the field.
Yeah.
But here's another thing that I keep coming back to. I mean, all right, and our punt returners. I go back to the Bill Callahan years. Remember when we were all frustrated when all we would do is just fair catch it? Well, at this point, it's the same. At this point, it's like, you know what? If you're not going to make the returners, a weapon, you know what I say? Bring all 11 guys to the line of scrimmage and try to block the damn thing. And if you don't block it, make it land wherever it lands.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they can't do that.
Thanks for the call, Vince.
Yeah, thank you, Vince. Okay, so now that now, Jake, I don't want to go down this path too far because rules have changed in football. But in the Osborne era, they didn't allow fair catches. Okay, see how far it's flipped the other way?
And now they don't catch the ball.
Now they don't catch the ball. And they just let it roll, which I'm not blaming Teray because I think now Nebraska's being so safe because they've been burned by themselves and bad decision making. So now Teray's just letting the ball bounce. But the ball's bouncing for yards and yards, and that's a lot of hidden yardage that Nebraska incurred in this game.
Think about being a punter for the opposing team, knowing, hey, they're not going to return this punt. You can kick it as far as you want.
Right. Well, yeah.
You have no fear of them trying to return this, trying to set up a return because they don't try. They don't try to catch the football.
Right.
We'll get to a little bit. I watched Iowa on Saturday, barely beat a bad Colorado State team. But you know what they do? They return their punts for like 15, 20 yards every time. They set it up. The returner's there to catch it.
Right.
Who catches every time.
Mm-hmm.
They've got room, and they find room to run 15, 20 yards like every time.
Yep. I'm telling you, during the Osborne era, they weren't allowed to fair catch. They had to return everything. I mean, within reason, of course. Now, we got another call. Let's try to take it.
Okay. I got to take it on the other side of the break. We're way late.
Okay.
Hang on. Dan, hang on. We'll get to you after the break. I promise. I gotta, there's rules here.
Yeah, I understand.
There's rules here.
Yeah, I understand.
We'll have Dan and some other callers on after the break, an early break in the ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Sunny and hot conditions here for our Monday. We're topping out at 92. Winds will be relatively light out of the northeast at around 10. Mainly clear tonight, a low dropping down to around 60. We are sunny and hot again tomorrow with once again a high of around 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation. It offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
Liberty First Credit Union is here to help you save time and money. Get a consolidation loan and conveniently combine all of your loans into one, leaving you with one fixed payment and one low-rate loan. Not a member? That's okay. Join Liberty First Credit Union at any of the 4 Lincoln locations, Seward, and in Omaha at 108th and L Street. Start saving with Liberty First Credit Union. Apply for a consolidation loan now at libertyfirstcu.com today. Approval required. Equal opportunity lender. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
State Farm, this is Bill.
It finally got me, Bill.
What's that, Rick?
The Clark Street crater, the mother of all potholes.
Oh.
Year after rim-wrecking year, it's tormented the people of this town. It got me good.
But you know, State Farm's got you too.
You hear that? You ain't nothing.
You trash talking a pothole?
Yes, I am.
Go with the one that's here to help life go right. State Farm.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
Is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we'll take all your calls here, 464-5685. We know you have plenty of thoughts on Nebraska's somehow loss at Michigan State despite having a win, not wrapped up, but looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
23-20 losers, now 2-3 on the season. 0-2 in conference play is the big problem here.
When you say losers, it sounds like a certain former president. Losers. All right, let's
get some calls.
Should we?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Let's see if Dan, if you're still there, you're on early break. Go ahead, man. Dan's gone. I don't blame him. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, he waited for about 10 minutes.
All right, let's try John. John, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, John.
John,
well,
how are you?
Been better, but
how are you, John?
Oh, that was hard. It's like Nebraska's writing a book on how to lose games. But put this into perspective. Michigan State had to do a flea flicker to get a touchdown. If they don't do that, I don't think they score a touchdown. That's how good. Put that with the putts and everything. Defense is on a different level. And if I'm the defense, I am furious at the offensive line. I am furious at the special teams because they're getting just enough help to stay in this game. We should have won that game by 10 points.
Yeah.
10 points.
Yeah, I'd say that.
least.
Yeah, that's not a bad take.
Adrian played well. He missed throws. All quarterbacks miss throws. But when you get pressured as much as he does, I'm surprised he don't miss more.
Yeah, talk about being frustrated. I would think Adrian's really frustrated, but he's.
So I got, guys.
Thanks, John.
Yeah,
there's a lot
Jake, I feel bad about the way I reacted to your,
I said he played fine. I didn't say he played bad. Like you,
right?
He didn't play like a hero,
right?
Oh, he played
very
well.
No, let's not go down this road.
I didn't sit here and say Adrian played bad. Those were not words I said. He said he played fine enough to win.
Right. Okay. I thought he played better than fine. Now we just disagree on that. I thought he was outstanding. Now he had a couple bad series.
Again, the one that leaves the bad taste in your mouth is the overtime session,
and he did not have a good overtime.
Think about Nebraska in this element. Their offense could not score on you. They're going to get a field goal probably at best. Now, they moved it down farther because Nebraska's defense might have been depressed about not having 3 points on the board to protect in that moment because of a pick.
Hey.
But if Nebraska just makes a field goal in overtime, you got a great chance at least go to double overtime.
So people are going to be wondering, what are you guys talking about, Adrian, in overtime? Well, on first down in overtime, he missed all 3 open guys on first down. Okay. He had Falk. Now, Jake, if you watch the video, he had Falk running up the seam for a 20-yard gain.
They showed the replay several times. Like, that's open. It's a touchdown, probably.
Yeah, and he wasn't pressured on that play.
No, he wasn't. He had time.
Okay, on second down, he threw low to Omar Manning, right?
Yep.
Then on third down, he should have thrown to Omar on the inside slant rather than to Teray on the outside slant, and that was the pick. Now that one doesn't. That's not as blatantly poor as the other two. The first one was real. I mean, he had the guy. He had Falk running up.
Sure did.
Anyway, again, it's hard to be critical of him because they would not have been in overtime without him carrying the offense on his back.
I just think of so last year, the line was bad last year too, but he had to worry about the snap number one last year.
Right.
It was, by the way, kudos to Cam Jurgens. You have not seen many bad snaps at all this year. I don't think there's any bad snaps in that game, right?
I don't think so.
So you don't see him jumping at the snap anymore, but
year
he's probably getting expected to hit every time he throws.
Last year it was not only that. Okay, we don't need to go down this road too far. Last year it was not only that. He didn't have enough weapons around him last year. He does now. They have enough weapons. By the way, Spielman at TCU barely plays at receiver.
He's a returner mostly there.
Yeah, he barely plays at receiver. Now, there's so many people that would come at me and say, "Sipple, you're missing." Spielman was a great player. He was a producer here, but I've never would have said he's a great player. I mean,
he has 6 catches this year so far.
He's not playing at TCU. I mean, all right, go ahead, callers.
Let's get to Dan is back. Dan, you're on an early break. Go ahead, man.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hello, Dan.
I just wanted to say, Frost has taken a lot of heat this year. Some games he's gotten out coached. I thought this game was really good. I think he did everything. He can't make the plays on the field. I think that was a very well coached game. No clock management issues.
Okay.
As far as Martinez playing outstanding, yes, he's a great athlete. Yes, he makes some spectacular plays, but there's just way too many plays where he holds on to the ball too long, doesn't see open receivers, leads to sacks, running towards the sideline and runs out of bounds 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I think I saw 5 or 6 plays in a row where the announcers during the game were like, wow, he missed an open receiver early after the snap. And there's just too many plays where he doesn't see a quick open receiver, then it leads him to hold onto the ball too long, and then he gets pressured and he has to run around. And so, yes, he makes some great plays, but I would rather him be able to hit the 6'11" tight end in the chest and not throw it over his head twice in a row when he's wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would take smart plays over the spectacular plays that he makes, because I think if he makes those smart plays, he doesn't need to make as many of the spectacular ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll finish with this.
Mm-hmm.
Kudos to Cam Jurgens running down the defensive back with a little help from Martinez.
Absolutely.
He was fast. That was incredible to me.
Yeah, he's an
but
incredible
with
athlete.
that, I'll let you guys go.
Thanks for the call, Dan.
Yes. No. No, I don't agree with him on Adrian, but yeah, sometimes he holds the ball too long because they're back there in 0.5 seconds. So yeah, he might hold it 0.7 seconds, and that's
or those are the ones also where again there's only 3 or 4 guys coming
the
and there's
ball too long. Really,
all the guys in the backfield are just defending very well.
Right. Your beef is he holds the ball too long. I mean, what's too long?
0.7
seconds is too long for this offensive line.
Well, I would say the one where he did fumble around midfield, that was he held it too long there.
Yes,
but
I mean,
again,
come on, every quarterback in the NFL has issues. I mean, there's guys. Tom Brady misses open receivers. By the way, I mean he doesn't see open receivers. They draw it up. You see it. I mean, come on.
Again,
really?
like I said earlier,
he's one of the best players in college football right now.
Like I said earlier, I'd be curious to see how Adrian looked if he had a competent offensive line.
Oh yeah, like I don't even. Are you really curious?
I want to see again how.
Are you really?
I want to see how good he could be.
Yeah.
He's got 5 touchdowns.
I'm
right
not
now.
curious. I know what he'd look like with a competent offensive
He has
line.
5 touchdown passes, and I'd like to see what he could do with more time back there.
Right.
Do not worry about getting hit 28 pressures in a football game.
Right. I'm no longer curious. I know exactly what he'd look like. He'd look like probably an All-American is what he'd look like. Okay. I mean, right now he's an All Big Ten quarterback. Right now, the way he's playing, who are you taking over him right now in the Big Ten?
Well, I don't
forget the West Division. That's a no-brainer. The West. Who are you taking in the West
Mertz
Division?
Sucks. Petrus sucks.
But Tanner Morgan was 5 for 12
for 59 yards
against
Bowling Green.
Against Bowling Green, taking Tanner Morgan over.
Illinois' quarterback's not very good. Purdue's quarterback isn't very good. You take
It's a
Martinez in
no-brainer
West
in the West.
easily.
And are you really taking Sean Clifford?
Well, yeah, you look at Tonga Valoa at Maryland.
That's the one.
Who's probably the best quarterback
probably
in
the
the conference.
one. Yeah.
You know, Penix has taken a huge step back in Indiana.
Yep.
Stroud didn't play for Ohio State, and it's hurting it. I don't see a quarterback there like right now at Ohio State.
I don't know that I'd take Tagliabue over Adrian.
I think right now, the worst you can put Adrian is top 3 in the conference. Is third. That's the worst. The worst.
The worst is second, I think.
The worst is third.
Okay.
You could put Clifford ahead if you want to. You could put Tonga Valoa. You could argue that he's better than both of those guys, obviously. But the worst you could put him at this moment is third.
Now, as far as Dan's comment about Frost, there's a fine line he's got to walk here. Of now, Scott has to take responsibility, right? But you can't just absolve the kids of like a guy like the punter. I do put that on Frost. In a sense, you do, right? Because in a sense, it's undisciplined football.
Yeah,
and
it's a lack of discipline.
Right. So in a sense, you put it on him. But I think the head coach does have to walk a fine line in addressing it. And Frost did say, I have to do a better job. He said those words on Saturday night. I have to do a better job. I hope you understand what I'm talking about, the fine line, Jake. Yeah, he has to do a better job. It's on him ultimately. But he can't just absolve the kids when they make incredibly stupid plays. Okay? That's at some point the players are also accountable, right?
They are.
Right. Now Frost said we have to do a better job. And Jake, by the way, he said the words Coach Dawson, Mike Dawson, the special teams coordinator, is doing as good a job as he knows how to do and as good a job as I know how to tell him to do. He said, we've got to do better, but at some point we've got to trust guys to do the things they were brought here to do. So that's what I mean by fine line. Yeah, coaching has to be better, but you can't just say it's all on us because then there's no accountability to the players. And it's hard for me to believe that sort of punt is happening in practice.
I have no idea. I'm at a loss for words.
I know.
Here's what I actually had this thought on Saturday night. I said, there is some evil person out there in this world that has a Nebraska football voodoo doll, and they're just stabbing it, saying, make the mistake. No. Something out there. Again, I'm not using the word snake pit. I will not use that because you make your own mistakes. You create your own luck. Yeah. You made a horrible play in that punt. There's someone who's got a freaking voodoo doll and keeps stabbing.
Do we have time for calls?
Yeah, we'll get to one, then we'll get to more after that. We'll do NFL winners losers next tomorrow. How about that?
Well, we'll talk about that on the break.
Greg. Nope, we got Greg and Milford. You're on an early break. Go ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Oh, it's just fair.
We're doing okay.
Yeah, it's just fair. Thank you.
I think after that game, how can Cerny and Greg Austin not be taking a bus home to at least think about what the heck they did? And also, I don't know who's calling the plays. Or how about doing some rollouts if our right tackle's getting beat 99% of the time?
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I can't just
because then you give them the option almost every play. I guarantee there's 5 yards if they rolled out almost every play for him to run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you guys have a good one.
That's again. I said this early on in the game because
did you tweet it?
I did. I said my very first tweet of that game was like halfway through the first quarter. I was patient. I didn't say anything, but I just see all these. I see all these pressures, and I say, when Adrian has rolled out to avoid the pressure, he's made good plays. He's bought some time.
Yeah.
You almost have to call rollouts to give him a chance.
That's not a bad.
I know
agree
you
with
take away one side of the field.
No, I got you. No, I got you.
But
that makes sense.
If you are such a creative mind with your routes and calling plays, you can roll them out. And I know you take away part of the field, but find something in the half that you're on.
That's not a bad point.
That helps you avoid, to buy some time.
You know what would have been funny? What if Frost would have went to Austin after the game and said, I got one word for you. Greyhound. You're taking the Greyhound.
You're not coming home, buddy.
No, you can come home, but you're taking the Greyhound.
See you in a couple of days.
Or what? It would have been funnier if he would have said, I have 2 words for you. Greyhound. And Austin would have said, that's 1 word.
The big smile. You're fired. We'll have more. We'll have song of the day, and we'll take some more calls. We'll take your calls all day long. We know you're frustrated. We want to hear from you guys. 464-5685. More next on Early Break of the Ticket.
New owners means new lunch specials at the Fox Bar and Grill. They've just introduced tons of options on their new under $10 lunch menu. Small nachos grande, a classic cheeseburger, 4 boneless or traditional wings and fries, or a small single topping pizza for just $5 each. Try the mushroom Swiss burger or the pepper jack stack burger for just $6. And for just $7, try any of the classic steak Philly, club wrap, grilled chicken salad, or grilled southwestern salad. It's the under $10 lunch menu at the Fox Bar and Grill, just south of 14th and Pine Lake.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the Careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
The weather has changed, and now it's time to adjust your footwear to change along with it. Stop into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q to get ready for cooler temperatures and fashion trends. They're stocked with Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrell hiking boots, and plenty of other options. Plus, they have Nordic beach jackets and Bindle tumblers to take to the gym with your new athletic shoes. So get to Brown's Shoe Fit today at 66th and Q.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
With today's Husker Radio Report, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Nebraska lost their 15th out of 20 games by one score or less Saturday night at Michigan State, 23-20 in overtime. This time it was special teams blunders that cost the Huskers.
This team has to change the record. I can't go out there and stay set for them. I can keep trying to fix it. These guys got to do it. And we got a good enough football team to do that. But they got to get sick of this stuff. I'm sick of it. They're sick of it. We got to be able to count on guys when we need them to do their job.
The question is, where do the Huskers go now? JoJo Domann said this team will not quit.
Kind of talked in the locker room like we're not quitting. Like, that's not in our DNA. That's not an option. So what can we do? We can respond with a positive attitude. You know, we there is so many things we can take away from this game, good and bad. So we just have to do that.
Now the focus shifts to Northwestern as the Wildcats come in for another night game this weekend. Reporting here with the Huskers in East Lansing, Michigan over the weekend, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.
Now that Ken Richards has purchased Brokers Agency, he and his professional staff will continue to provide their clients with the same excellent service under the Brokers Insurance Agency name. Brokers Insurance Agency works with more than 15 companies to help find the best policy for you to avoid any long hassles. Also, if you're looking to get into the insurance business as an independent agent, they have the formula to make that process smooth and successful. Call Ken with Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 or visit brokersinsuranceNE.com.
When the clock strikes zero after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party postgame show on 93.7 The Ticket. Each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the team and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, sponsored by Southeast Community College and N Street Drive-In. You love the unabashed sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Light comes streaming in, you'll get up and do it again. Amen. Caught between the longing for love and the struggle for the legal tender, where the sirens sing and the church bells ring and the junk man pounds his fender, where the veterans dream of the fight, fast asleep at the traffic light, and the children solemnly wait for the ice cream vendor.
Song of the day, The Pretender by Jackson Brown, 464-56851. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
He knows that all his hopes and dreams begin and end there.
Once again, your Song of the Day, The Pretender by Jackson Brown, 464-56851. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You were
Jake,
singing. You were singing
that's
that
a
one.
beautiful song. I mean, that song. I love that song when I was in high school, and I'm 55. That's one of Jackson Brown's best. Probably one of his top 2. Well, I mean, what's the best Jackson Brown song?
Running on Empty.
Okay.
And then
I like that. I like
his number one song, which you hate in terms of the most listens, is Somebody's Baby. I know you hate that
I
song.
do not like that song.
But that is his number one song in terms of listens. Downloads, yep.
Yeah.
Number 2 is close by, is Running on Empty.
Okay.
And that one's like 4th or 5th.
Well, the loadout's
The Loadout,
really
yep,
good.
the
too.
Loadout's
I
wonderful.
think I like the Pretender and the Loadout better than any of them.
Better than Running on Empty?
Yeah.
Really? That surprises me.
Pretender might be numero uno. That's no way it's lower than a 9. It's just a question of how far into the 9s do I want to go. That's an incredible song. I'll go 9.4. Great find.
We got to guess Harrison's score. This is not from his era.
It
at all.
is
This
not exactly Kid Cudi.
Did he appreciate the sound, though, is the question.
I don't know.
Here's my guess. I'm going to go 5.4. Yeah, over a 5. 5.4.
Okay, it's hard to read it. I'm going to go lower. I'm going to say 4.0.
4.8.
And what's his
Man.
comment?
Man.
Man. It's not Kid Cudi. Who else does he like besides Kid Cudi?
He likes indie music, he said.
Yeah.
Although I played an indie song once, he didn't even like it.
And he said it wasn't indie.
That's right. This isn't indie. What are you talking about, man?
Hey, just write on the grease board your second favorite band.
He likes something like, is it the Indies you like? Is that the name of the band? There's some band he likes
Harrison.
I've never heard of before.
Harrison.
But I tell you what, I listened to the song he told me to. I thought it was terrible. So he's got interesting taste in music.
Okay,
though,
let's
there,
see.
too.
Let's see.
Tame Impala. Yeah, those guys are a little weird. Harrison. I've listened to Tame Impala. It's strange. That's a different type of music right there.
Okay,
Like
so
they
Kid
falsetto
Cudi,
the whole time.
Kid Cudi, and Tame Impala. All right, better.
It's a
You
strange
want to
hill
get
to
to
be on.
calls? You want to get?
I
to
don't
your-
think that Chris is there anymore.
Okay.
But here's the deal: we're gonna take more phone calls at the top of the hour. So and we will do tomorrow NFL winners and losers. I don't have enough time.
Do it today.
Because it's 5 minutes. It's gonna be 7:05.
All right, let's talk about what happened on Saturday night. More on that.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that we didn't address
Like
is
I
where
got
was
2 minutes here. Don't. So
oh yeah, just 2-minute topic. This is very clear. Where was Xavier Betts in the second half? We don't know. Yeah, he had a great first half. Xavier Betts, the freshman receiver, 5 catches for 62 yards. And I don't think he's never looked better. Well, he did look pretty good taking that 55-yarder down the field against Oklahoma, over the shoulder catch.
Yes. Does a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch in that game.
Xavier Betts, 5 catches for 62 yards on Saturday night, targeted 7 times in the first half. Didn't see him in the second half. Scott did say he was injured, but we didn't see where he was injured. Did anybody see where he was injured?
No.
Xavier Betts.
It might be something where you got tight somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, he might have tightened up. Something might have tightened up. Or it might be some lingering injury that was bothering him. So,
yeah.
And by the way, hey, how about this one? I was thinking about writing about this week. Mario Verduzco, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is Adrian having an exceptional season, Smothers looks. I don't know how to describe.
We saw
it.
one drive out of him.
But he looks better than competent to me. He comes in.
I thought,
he comes in and runs the show really well. Mario took a lot of heat in the offseason for Adrian's backsliding. And and again, we're not going down this road, but what would I always say? Needs more around him. Put more around Adrian, and what's he look like? Well, you've put players at the skill positions around him, and he looks really good. He's got to battle this offensive line issue now.
Yeah,
but I mean, I would say, what would you say about Mario Verduzco's coaching now? You can't call for his head.
I think that's gone down a little bit in terms of his hot.
It should.
Where his has gone down, there's one who's gone way up, which is of course Greg Austin. I
Well,
would say his name out loud. I mean, come on. That unit is affecting the entire team.
It is.
28
No,
pressures
that's fair.
in a football game and 14 by one player is not acceptable anywhere in
not.
the country.
It's not.
Any level of football.
No, I wouldn't say the offensive line play is acceptable this year. I think it was in the second half, but Nebraska had built up. I mean, Michigan State was wearing down. Now you give Nebraska credit on that. But again, by and large, would anybody say that the offensive line play this season has been acceptable?
No.
Okay. Well, then there's nothing wrong with putting a little heat on the offensive line.
I think it's more than a little heat. I think it's fire, basically.
Well, easy now. Easy.
Like your flames.
Oh,
not like fire. There's flames.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
There's hot flames. There's
I was a little surprised. when you
Don't
just came
step
out
on
here.
the coals. You're going to hurt yourself.
That took me by surprise. You're calling for his head. But you weren't calling for his head.
No,
he's on a fire.
We're getting there right now.
He's on a fire.
If I'm not calling for it, we're getting pretty dang close.
Yeah, he's on a fiery hot seat.
He's on the coals. I will say this before we get to the top of the hour and your phone calls. I'm not doing NFL winners and losers till tomorrow, but I got to give a big kudos to the United States of America for domination in the Ryder Cup in Kohler, Wisconsin. 19-9, the biggest blowout in the history of the Ryder Cup for either squad. They almost put up 20 points, which is pathetic by the sad Europeans. You losers, you suck. You'll never win this Ryder Cup for years because this team is fiery. They're pissed. They don't like losing. They're a bunch of winners.
Okay.
And your team's a bunch of old, sad losers, and it's about to be ugly for the next decade.
Ageism.
So there you go. Congratulations. It was a crappy football weekend for me. I watched the Dolphins lose in overtime again on a field goal, same as the Huskers. Bad offensive line play.
Special teams let you down.
No, they did let us down.
No,
The
that's
offensive line let us down, just like
Okay.
I watched on Saturday.
Yeah.
But thank goodness the Ryder Cup team gave me something to root for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
Ryder
enjoyed
Cup.
that?
Dustin Johnson, 5-0 this weekend. Didn't lose
Hello.
a single match.
Hello.
Hello. Top of the hour, your phone calls. Give us your thoughts on Nebraska, Michigan State. Where's this program going? 464-5685. More next on Early Break on the Ticket. Last thing before break, guys. Hey, I've been telling you for a long time about my friends at Craft Axe Throwing. Well, they've got some special things for the fall, including College Day on September 1st. They're relaunching College Night for the new year. That's $15 an hour with a valid college ID every Wednesday, plus National Girls Night September 22nd, and Glow Throw coming up. That's a date to be determined still in September, but probably in the middle of the month. We'll give you updates as that comes along. Don't forget, league starting September 14th. Signups are live on the website at craftaxethrowing.com. And also, a chance to be on ESPN. They've got around 10 people within the company who will be throwing for the World Championships coming up in September. Again, it's all at Craft Axe Throwing. Make sure to always call to rent a lane at 402-802-9696 or go online to craftaxethrowing.com. That's all at craftaxethrowing.com. New specials for the fall at 18th and N in Lincoln.
Liberty First Credit Union is here to help you save time and money. Get a consolidation loan and conveniently combine all of your loans into one, leaving you with one fixed payment and one low-rate loan. Not a member? That's okay. Join Liberty First Credit Union at any of the 4 Lincoln locations, Seward, and in Omaha at 108th and L Street. Start saving with Liberty First Credit Union. Apply for a consolidation loan now at libertyfirstcu.com today. Approval required. Equal opportunity lender. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Get your touchdown tan in Max Tan with unlimited tanning until 2022, starting at just $59. Summer may be over, but your tan doesn't have to be. Tan for the season, football season, at any of the 4 local Lincoln Max Tan locations. Supporting local is the name of the game at Max Tan.
We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
At Buffalo Wings and Rings, they've crafted a new league of superior chicken sandwiches. Meet the Ringers. It's premium, house-made, beer-battered, fried chicken served buffalo, Korean, or MVP style. Head to Buffalo Wings and Rings Lincoln and raise a glass to superior chicken. 2 locations at 68th and O and at 40th and Old Cheney. Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels & Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels & Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Monday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. A lot of phone calls so far. Keep them coming at 402-464-5685. You can watch us on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. The show is sponsored by Gaina Trucking. Again, we want to hear from you guys. We know you're angry. We know you have a lot of things to say, so give us a call.
Isn't it? And we're embroiled in a kind of complex discussion because, as you said during the break, it's not like Nebraska's getting blown out. So we see these kind of cataclysmic issues that set us back in our chairs.
Correct.
But then when we begin the conversation, it always sort of begins with, man, Nebraska's pretty good right now. That's a team, and they're blowing an opportunity, by the way.
Yes.
Because you know where I'm going. The Big Ten West is weak. I would say weak.
Just to recap yesterday quickly, the Big Ten, or Saturday, the Big Ten West, Wisconsin gave away the game big time in the fourth quarter and then got blown out.
They
41-13.
Right. Graham Mertz threw 4 interceptions.
2 pick sixes in a row.
Yeah. Mertz is not – I watched the game, so I can speak somewhat intelligently about it. Mertz is just an ordinary quarterback.
He's not the dude.
No.
He's not the guy.
He doesn't – I mean, for people who haven't seen a lot of him, his arm strength is average. He can't run. He doesn't make great decisions. I mean – Paul Chryst is in a little bit of a
they can't run
PR fix because last week Jack Cohn said, I didn't want to leave Wisconsin. Okay? Jack Cohn told media, it wasn't my idea. Oh, wait a second. So Jack Cohn, who's having a pretty good year at Notre Dame, was run off because you chose Graham Mertz, Paul Chryst? And by the way, Jake, get ready for this one. I don't know if this got by. I think it's got by a lot of people.
Okay.
In the last 12 games, Wisconsin's 5-7.
That doesn't sound right, but it's true.
Yeah.
5-7.
In the last 12 games, Wisconsin's 5-7. In the last 18, they're 9-9. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, now that's a lot against a lot of good competition, especially the 5-7 part. But 5-7 is 5-7. Minnesota lost on its home field to Bowling Green. That was a 33-point underdog, by the way.
Tanner Morgan, they passed the ball. What, 11? How many
Morgan
times
Tanner Morgan was 5 for 13 for 59 yards and no touchdowns with 2 picks.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't know what to say about that. They have a great offensive line to protect you, right?
Pretty good, I think. Yeah.
We just saw them murder Colorado last week. They beat them
shocked.
30-0 on their home field. And they come back and lose 14-10 to Bowling Green.
So back to Nebraska. Nebraska's got the kind of team to go to Minnesota and win. It has the kind of team. I mean, come on. I mean, I know what you're going to say, that Northwestern will push Nebraska because it always does.
They will.
I don't know. If Nebraska's I'd like to see Nebraska take out its frustration on Northwestern.
Nebraska, by the way, 8.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I'd take Nebraska, and I'd give those
the points. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And Michigan, good call by you, by the way. Great call. Rutgers pushes Michigan to the absolute limit.
Well, they were down 17.5 too. It didn't look good for me for a while. It was 20-3 Michigan at halftime. They held them to nothing in the second half.
It looked good in the second half, though, for Rutgers. Rutgers had a shot to win that game. They had a chance to win that game.
I told you, Greg Schiano's a good football coach, a great football coach.
That was a good call by you. Now, come on, Michigan. The way now this will get us back to the discussion.
We'll get to Jerry in a second. Hang tight, Jerry.
Hold on, Jerry. With Nebraska's defense playing the way it is, I mean, they're going to be in the game against Michigan in Memorial Stadium. Michigan's not going to come in here.
Rutgers just proved that they should be.
Yeah, Michigan's not going to come in here and put 40 on Nebraska. Not on that defense.
The way this defense is playing, I'd be stunned.
We were very worried about Kenneth Walker III.
He did nothing. He looked pedestrian. He had one nice run.
In overtime, he got the 23-yarder.
Yeah.
That was a killer. It was a killer, too.
But before that, nothing.
They bottled him up. I know because there's a lot of Nebraska fans I talked to. In the stands, Michigan State fans were like, what the hell is happening here? We can't run the ball all of a sudden.
They were against an actual defense.
Nebraska made Kenneth Walker, who was averaging 8.64 yards per carry, look ordinary. I mean, they made him look ordinary.
That guy had a 23-yard gain and still only averaged 3.2 yards per carry with a 23-yarder.
What did Nebraska do? They came at him in waves. If the first guy missed, which it wasn't like the first guy was always missing, but if the first guy missed, there was 2 there, there was 3 there, there was 4 there. They rallied to the football like they have all year. Now, they hadn't played that good a run defense.
No, that was their best run defense they had the whole year.
Yeah.
They had been terrible, but they were really good.
They were clearly locked in on because they probably heard the discussion. Okay, you were wrong about Adrian, but I will admit I was wrong about the run defense. I thought Walker would get in the 150 range.
Not even close.
No, not even.
But that's why this is so frustrating. Nebraska sits here at 2-3. They've been close in every game so far. I mean, they've lost every game by 1 score, They could be 4-1 very easily, and maybe you could make an argument for 5-0. I just go 4-1 to beat for the sake of that. And and we just said the West is up for grabs, and you're just kicking yourself in the teeth because of a couple dumb mistakes every game, whether it's an offensive line mistake, whether it's a special teams mistake. It's just one or two mistakes every game that separates you from being 4-1 and now 2-3.
Real quick, a couple things. Luke Reimer, North Star graduate, 11 tackles. Nick Henrich, 9 tackles. Those are
were dudes.
Those are your inside linebackers, and they led you in tackling. That's a good sign. Garrett Nelson, exceptional game for Garrett Nelson. 6 tackles, exceptional.
He played very well.
Batted down the pass late, was in their backfield a lot of the times. Dante Williams, 5 tackles, continues to have an excellent season. JoJo Doman continues to have an excellent season. Caleb Tanner, 4 tackles. He's been quietly strong. Damian Daniels made big plays, 4 tackles inside. Quentin Newsom at 1 corner, excellent most of the year. Played a good game in this one. Cam Taylor-Britt talked to the media for the first time since August 23rd. Played a good game. The defense,
all those guys, they've all played great games.
Markel Dismuke with a big pick in the first half.
Yep. On the arm punt.
DeAndre Thomas. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that? Frost was pissed at him.
Yeah, it drives me nuts the way the rules are now. But I mean, there's that he threw him down after the whistle.
The thing is, was the whistle blown though? Because
I think so.
Because Thorne kept trying to stay up. He wasn't going down.
Right.
That's why I'm like, I understand why Frost is pissed because he may just give him 15 yards, but he was trying to fight still. He was trying to stay on his feet.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, no, you can't call that.
I know. That's where I lean, but just by letter of the law,
go down. If you don't want to get thrown to the ground, then go down. The play is over. You're not going to escape the sack.
I'm with you. I'm exactly with that. It's just a damn letter of the law, Jerry.
Okay, 464-568. I want to hear from you guys. Call us or text us as always. Jerry, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Good morning, fellas. I got a couple quick points.
All right. Let's hear him, Jerry.
Number one, who's the only coach on that staff that doesn't have a full-time job during practice? Scott Frost.
Okay.
Everybody else has a job.
Okay.
If I was Scott, I would take over the special teams and get it shaped up because too much depends on it. And the guy that's in charge of it now, he's doing a great job with the defense.
Yes, he is.
I'd take that off his shoulders and I'd take it over and do it. Period.
Yeah.
Because it's too dang important.
Okay.
The other thing is, I had when I was up north coaching, I had a player from Australia and a player from New Zealand.
Okay.
Knew how long they both lasted? 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, and they even had basketball. I thought I got a 6'10" Luke Longley back in the day, from Australia. Well, he didn't work out. I got a 6'8" New Zealand guy that could jump over a fence and shoot pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're different. They play basketball leagues. They don't have American football over there.
Right.
Why would you trust a guy that you've never seen in person to be your punter? They should have told him to shank it, mate, instead of hook it.
Shake it, mate.
That's pretty good, Jerry.
But the other thing, we used to have, instead of directional kicking, we used to, when the punt went, the personal protector would call out the direction of the ball, the left, right, middle.
Okay.
And the guys would then head that direction. And the wave in front of him, a guy was in charge of yelling it out in case somebody didn't hear it, because then they knew. And I understand the directional kicking, but you got to be able to allow for errors. And that's obviously a big error, almost as bad as a 7-yard punt, which I would have sent him home on a Greyhound after that one.
Jerry,
Thanks, fellas.
Jerry, thanks for the call.
Jerry, thank you. Okay, so Jerry's suggestion is that Scott Frost take over special teams. That's Sam. By the way, Sam text. Sam says the same thing. Maybe the head coach should turn play calling over to Matt Lubick 100% of the time and take over special teams. I don't know. I don't know where I stand on. I don't know what Scott's expertise is. I think Kaz could help us with this. Didn't Bo take over special teams at one point?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, Kaz, help us with that. I feel like he did.
I think that is true.
Yeah. I don't know if Scott has an expertise in that.
Yeah, it's one thing to take over special teams, but is he good at it?
Yeah,
Can he do
right.
that?
That's right. Scott's expertise is offense. Now,
is it? Yeah. Are you sure?
Well, we read off the point totals against.
I don't know if
FBS
you can
teams.
say that that's
Why
the
don't-
case
why don't
with
we
the
just-
point totals.
Why don't we just do that little
again.
exercise again?
Do that again.
These are Nebraska's point totals against.
I can list them
against FBS competition. Go ahead.
22 against Illinois. They had, then Fordham doesn't count, but then you had 28 against Buffalo.
Okay.
16 against Oklahoma and 20 against Michigan State.
That's not enough.
That's not enough point. The defense is not the problem at all. Zero part defense. It is the offense is not good enough, and special teams is not even close to good enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you're at. You've got one great unit. I'm gonna say the defense is great right now. Zip.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
I'm slow to say that word.
I know you are. They definitely showed the greatness at times on Saturday.
This whole second half, they were great. I mean, the overtime.
Now, what I would ask you is this: if it was a great defense, would Nebraska be 2-3? That's what I'd ask.
They're scoring enough points. Oh, sorry, they're giving up below enough points to win football games. Michigan State had they scored 13 points offensively. They had 7 points come off of a punt return in that game.
Kaz did answer the question on Bo. Bo Pelini. Did Bo Pelini take over special teams? Kaz, Rick Kaczynski, who's on the staff, says yes.
Yep.
But we were all involved. Every
Comprehensive.
coach, with the exception of Barney Cotton and John Garrison, were in every special teams meeting. Bo broke special teams down, told us what he saw, led the meetings, and we coached the individuals. Kaz has a great point about defense. Iowa is 4-0 with a great defense.
Yeah.
Okay, now that's a great defense. Now, I don't know if I'm ready to put great defense on Nebraska right now, Jake. They're playing very well, and it's inspiring.
They have great special teams in Iowa. They have phenomenal special teams in Iowa. They have punt blocks. They've got punt returns. Like that, I'm telling you, the gap is not wide between Nebraska and Iowa. They're 4-0. You're 2-3. It's not wide, and they're going to be they're a top 10 ranked team. But watch that team.
Okay, wait a second.
I watched them play football. I watched a lot of that game on Saturday against a very bad.
You're talking Iowa, Colorado State.
Colorado State has losses this year to South Dakota State and Vanderbilt. They lost. Vanderbilt had less yards than Georgia had points on Saturday. They lost 62-0. I believe they either had just below or just above the point in yards what Georgia had in points. And Colorado State lost to that team.
Now, hold on, Jake.
I watched the game. I would look so pedestrian.
Okay, now I got a question for you, though. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's fascinating what you just said. The gap between Iowa and Nebraska is not that large.
It's not that.
Iowa's ranked 4th in the country.
We just saw the last 3 years. Nebraska's right there with them too. They lost by 3, 3, and 6. They should have won some of those games.
Do you see why the conversation's complicated?
It's frustrating because you have this is Nebraska is a pretty dang good football team.
Then they need to be better than 2-3, and they need to beat Northwestern. They need
have
to beat Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Yeah, and they need to beat Michigan. Okay, that's you gotta. And what this comes down to is coaching. Okay, it comes down to coaching. Okay, because we agree that Nebraska has the sort of team to be much better than 2-3. They have that sort of team. Jake, I mean, let's face it. That's what we're talking about. They're good enough to win these games.
This is why, again,
they're good enough to beat Oklahoma on the road.
Yes,
so is West Virginia, by the way. But
Oklahoma is fading.
Yeah, they're
quickly.
booing. They're booing Spencer Rattler down there.
Is just a dude.
They're booing him.
He's
They're calling
good.
for Caleb Williams, the backup.
Rattler sucks right now.
Anyway, Nebraska was good enough to beat Oklahoma on the road, and I mean, clearly good enough to beat Oklahoma on the road.
Right.
Should have beaten Oklahoma on the road. Clearly good enough to beat
They
Michigan
shot
State
themselves
on
in the foot in both games.
the road.
That's why it's frustrating. You have a team that just across the border that looks very similar to you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're undefeated and top 10 ranked, and you're 2-3.
That's why
And you're
Frost.
0-2 in conference
That's
play.
why Frost's left knee was bouncing up and down all during his press conference after the game. You know why? Because he's livid. He's pissed. He knows. He knows he has a team. He knew he had a team in the offseason, Jake. He knew in February he had a team. Because he kept saying we just need to get some confidence. All right, we just need some confidence, and this thing is going to take off.
But do they have confidence
He
after
read
these
his
close losses?
he
or
read
not?
his team right.
Yeah.
He read his team right. You got to give him credit for that. In February, he said, we just need confidence and this thing can take off. That's what can. That's why he is his knees bouncing up and down on Saturday night. You know why? Because he's emotional.
That game was your chance at like a Penn State type push they had in that year they made the Big Ten
Yes, it
championship.
was.
They were 2-2
Right.
going to that game.
Because
Remember that?
people understand. Yeah, so people understand. Nebraska is now 0-2 in the Big Ten. Good luck winning the division. Okay, it's gonna be next to impossible to do it. If they beat Michigan, which they're up 20-13, and you're thinking, oh God, 90% chance to win this game, 1-1 in the Big Ten with staring at Northwestern with a ton of momentum. Then you're 2-1 and you're in it. You're in it. You're in the hunt. And the whole world is like, hey, you better watch that Nebraska team.
Right. If you beat Michigan State, you beat Northwestern, you're 2-1. The Illinois game still is painful, but at least you're 2-1. You're right there.
Now this is this is a difficult psychology for Frost. It's because he has to keep his players engaged and understanding they're good. Now, after the game, he told them that. No hanging your head. No hanging your head. Because we're a good team. We're good. He's right. That's the right message. He's got to stay fired up. I mean, the head coach has a huge job right now because he has to keep a good team engaged. And you worry a little bit about fractures, right?
I sure do. This defense is like, we're carrying you, man.
Right. I don't think that they will have that because they have a bunch of good kids. And they're playing their asses off. Let's face it. Both sides of the ball. They're playing hard. I don't fault effort anywhere. We've seen teams lay down at Nebraska. We saw it in 2017.
We have it. That's frustrating.
We saw in 2017 a team lay down. We are not. That is not. Geez. This team does not even. I don't think they have that in them.
Well, what will you say if Nebraska rolls out the same offensive line next Saturday? When you had one player alone have 14 pressures given up in his one
back
spot.
to the offensive line. So for people who missed it in the 6 o'clock hour, this is right out of Parker Gabriel's article today. Jake, I'm going to do this to you again. You cringe, but people need to understand this stuff. According to Pro Football Focus data, Michigan, I can't even read this without. Michigan State blitzed Nebraska 4 times on 47 dropbacks, but got pressured 28 times, including 7 sacks. Process that. Let that sink in. They blitzed 4 times and got pressured 28 times, which means they're not sending extra guys and they're keeping guys back in coverage and they're still getting pressure. And that puts a ton of pressure on Adrian Martinez.
I mean, this is almost entirely an offensive line discussion for Nebraska. You think about it, you could be 4-1 if you had simply
I'm
not asking for great. I'm asking for a competent line. They will give up a sack once in a while, but not every damn play.
Look at this. Nebraska's last 3 opponents, Buffalo, Oklahoma, and Michigan State, have blitzed on just 13% of the Huskers' passing attempts. They're not blitzing. And you see the pressure.
And they're getting there.
I mean, how many times? That's why I'm sorry, Jake. This is the 4th time I'm apologizing to you. I hate it when I do that. I attacked you, but how do you put it on Adrian? You didn't. You didn't.
Don't put those words in my mouth.
But how does anybody put this on Adrian? Watch the game. He's dropping back into the pocket and getting swarmed. And he's half the time, he's like Harry Houdini.
Yeah.
He either escapes and gets a good gain with his legs or somehow gets a pass off.
Yep. I'm with you. It doesn't make any sense.
And it doesn't make sense because the teams are not blitzing. Okay, but they're still getting pressure on a whopping 63 times out of 110 dropbacks. That's 57%. Okay, without blitzing. I can't emphasize that enough. Can you imagine defensive coordinators what they're saying? We can get pressure on without blitzing, coach. We can keep guys back in coverage. We'll get to them. Oh, great.
As the text line says, imagine it feels like Petrus back there. He's getting to be sacked 15 times a game, probably.
Right.
He's probably 15 sacks
Or
against
Tanner Morgan.
Tanner Morgan.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just sad they can't assemble an offensive line. It's pathetic. It is frankly a pathetic offensive line performance.
Easy, because not all of them are playing bad.
Collectively, it's bad.
Yeah, Juergens playing good.
We got a couple calls before we get to break. Dave, you're up first. You're on early break. Go ahead.
Morning, Jake and Steve. Hey, Steve, Jake.
Hi.
Bowling Green won that game with only 192 total yards and 22 yards rushing. Isn't that amazing? But
that is.
He's got a good team, and he's not taking advantage of it. When you lost to Illinois, you lost your wiggle room.
Yeah.
And Scott still needs to find a way to win a game in a row. Look, you don't want to be 3-5 heading into Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Iowa. But how many games did Frank Beamer and Bud Crawford win at Virginia Tech because of special teams? And I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Bud Crawford was not there. Bud Foster was there, though.
Yeah.
But I got you. Yeah, special teams is important. It's a huge part of the operation. As I just said, the difference between Nebraska and Iowa is the fact they've got a good offensive line and they have really good special teams. The defenses are very similar for Iowa and Nebraska.
Yeah, I think Iowa has a good offensive. I'm not sure about that.
Their center is the best in the country.
Yeah,
he is an
that's true.
absolute animal.
Yeah, that's an animal. He
Lindblom,
yeah,
his last name.
Yeah, he flattens guys. I will say this: Wisconsin's offensive line doesn't look very good. Interesting. That they look like a pedestrian offensive line. I reiterate: Wisconsin 5-7 in their last 12. Hello, Jake and Lincoln.
Jake and Lincoln, you're on early break. Go ahead.
Hey, fellas. Just want to make two quick points
hi,
here.
Jake.
First, hey, guys. Hey, first, isn't it telling our defense is playing so well and our offense, specifically the offensive line, is really struggling. If I recall, last year, there was a rumor, and then it was kind of confirmed in the fall presser before the season started, that the team voted on if they wanted to go play a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently the defense was like, let's do it. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, he's right.
And the offense said, we're good. Let's go see our families, enjoy the holidays. I think that's really telling for what you're seeing on the field this year.
Oh, boy.
And the other thing I want to make a point of is, it's a good thing that, Nebraska fans know their football. And what we're seeing on the field, it's frustrating. But Frost is right. And, there's a lot of mental mistakes. But you can see it on the field. I mean, this team at 2-3, it's a competitive football team. They won't lose by more than 10 or 14 points the rest of the year. They'll hang with Ohio State. They'll hang with Iowa. They'll hang with Wisconsin. And that's what a great defense will do for you. As opposed to, say, I think it was 2017 or 2018, Mike Riley's team started 7-0, but everybody kind of knew, we're not really a top 10 team.
Mm-hmm.
This team feels like they are so close.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think fans are still on board with Frost, and it's going to be okay.
Interesting,
call,
Jake.
Jake. Appreciate
he
it.
makes a great point. Thank you, Jake. By the way, Jake was great last week. That's a great point about the bowl situation. It was he portrayed it accurately. It was defense wanted to play.
And you can see right now that they're backing that up this season.
Right. The culture on that side of the ball. Now, I don't want to do that.
Who
No,
would've thought
no.
that would be the case
Now,
in
hold
this
on.
era?
Now, I got to be careful because I'm not going to, in fact, I want to retract where I was going. The culture in the programs, I think it's good, but the defense, it's paying off more on that side of the ball for sure. But Jake makes a great point. I do feel like these fans are very intelligent, and I think most of them see that they're on the cusp.
The
It's a
apathy level
fascinating-
is not like it was because
No, it doesn't feel like
you're not losing. Going into the fourth quarter. These are going the distance.
Right.
You didn't lose to Oklahoma 56-10.
Right.
You were right there. Michigan State, you could have won the game.
Right. There, in fact, what did I say? Against Oklahoma, by the end of the first quarter, my prevailing thought was, holy God, Nebraska belongs on the same field with these guys. That was it really hit me like a wave. They belong in this game. And nothing I saw subsequent of that first feeling told me otherwise.
Yep.
In fact, they should have won the game. And it's obvious that they should have beat Michigan State.
Yep.
Number 20 Michigan State, which went on the road and jackhammered Miami. Come on. Jake, you got to say it. That's progress.
It's progress. We need some dubs. More next on an early break on the ticket.
All the fall favorites are back at Bagels and Joe. Try their caramel apple cream cheese on any of their bagels, or pick up some pumpkin chocolate chip muffins or pumpkin spice lattes for the office. And don't forget their delicious breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Bagels and Joe with 4 Lincoln locations.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party postgame show on 93.7 The Ticket. Each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the team and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, sponsored by Southeast Community College and M Street Drive-In.
If you're struggling to get motivated to work out, you're not alone. And Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is here to help. Build muscle, burn fat, and lose weight with Farrell's 10-week challenge starting October 2nd. Farrell's combines kickboxing with inclusive strength training and nutrition planning to help you stay on track. Go to fxblincoln.com to sign up, and if you mention the ticket, you'll get a 50% discount. It's the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-week challenge starting October 2nd with 2 locations in Lincoln.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one postgame show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill, sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
New owners means new lunch specials at the Fox Bar and Grill. They've just introduced tons of options on their new under $10 lunch menu. Small nachos grande, a classic cheeseburger, 4 boneless or traditional wings and fries, or a small single topping pizza for just $5 each. Try the mushroom Swiss burger or the pepper jack stack burger for just $6. And for just $7, try any of the classic steak Philly, club wrap, grilled chicken salad, or grilled southwestern salad. It's the under $10 lunch menu at the Fox Bar and Grill, just south of 14th and Pine Lake.
Hi, Andy Neal of Cartridge World. We are not a big box store that sells everything and specializes in nothing. Cartridge World is your local expert when it comes to streamlining office printing and scanning. No big box can match our proven no-cost lease program. We customize solutions that supply you with multifunction printers and all the required service just for buying Cartridge World ink and toner at a 30% savings. Call for a no-cost consultation, 464-3455, or go online to cartridgeworld.com.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lots of phone calls today. We appreciate all you guys chiming in with your thoughts. Of course, a very frustrating Monday here in a game you thought you had. You thought you were going to be 3-2, 1-1 in conference play, and looking like you got a great chance in the West. You still have a chance to win some football games this year. Don't get me wrong, but your chance of winning the West is bleak right now at 0-2, despite what we saw, what we talked about. The Big Ten West was horrendous on Saturday. Even Iowa in a victory looked horrendous in that football game.
Frost has got to he has to continue to find ways to motivate. That's what we're talking about. The team does definitely look motivated for sure. It played very hard. And I think the crowd now in Sipple's ideal world, which is I don't know if that world exists, but I would think Nebraska fans will show up fired up for this game. It helps that it's at 6:30. And I mean, I would think if you're a Nebraska fan, you'd really want to get behind this team right now.
Well, you're seeing really, really good defense. I mean, they were good defense last year. They're a different level this year. I mean, I think that you appreciate that as a Husker fan. The fact you've seen too many years in the last 7 where you've had just bad defense, and it's hard to watch because you can't stop anything. You know, football is a lot of fun. Even though you want to score more points, obviously you want to have the offense be better. It's a lot of fun when you can count on your defense to make plays.
Right now, think about that defense, the frenzy it will be in if the crowd's into it for a night game against Northwestern. I mean, that's the scene you hope for, right? If you're a Nebraska player or fan or coach.
Yep.
Is that it's revved up in that stadium, and these fans, they see what you're talking about, which is Nebraska's pretty close. You don't want to hear, it's just like it's almost like you just want to acknowledge that and then move on because it gets so tiring.
It's like, I'm sick of close.
Yeah. I mean, Garrett Nelson last week said that close discussion just pisses me off. That's what Garrett Nelson said. Dante Williams, I saw it when he was talking to the reporters. His voice, you could hear anger in his voice when he said that. We're tired of being close. It doesn't matter.
But the defense,
you can hear the anger.
The defense is there. They're not close. They're there. It's the rest of the team that's behind.
Not everybody, because there's parts of the offense that are playing really well. The quarterback's playing real well. The receivers are playing well.
But there is
how many drop passes are you seeing?
Not many.
No, you don't see them. Jake, not many. I don't know. Do I see? You see? I don't see drop passes. They're not dropping passes.
Yeah, but
I will even say Ramir Johnson. What his numbers? What was his numbers?
Ramir Johnson running the ball. He had 19 carries for 76 yards.
4 yards a carry.
4 yards a pop.
Yeah. 4 yards a carry.
Long of 18.
Now I'm not going to say that he's an all-world back, but he's running hard now. Jake, could you say that they have found a guy? Pretty close, right?
I'm optimistic about him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's the guy yet, but I like him.
Yeah. I mean, he gives them that speed element.
The problem is that I can't find a guy when there's not a line to block for them.
I know.
I can't say that.
He got 4 yards of carry with that line.
There's twice I saw him look like Abdullah get through a hole. Said there was nothing there. He got a 14-yard gain. I said, how?
Yeah, I like.
He showed the replay. Said, where did he get through that gap? There was not a gap there.
Yeah, that's what he's got to do. He's got to do that. And if he sees any daylight, he's got to get to it fast because it's close. It's going to close fast.
We had someone text and say, "Sip, you've watched football at Nebraska for a long time. Has there ever been a worse offensive line you have seen in your time?"
I don't think so. Not one that's struggling at this level.
Also, someone asked the question about the offensive line. Fat Phil says, "Sip, you watch this closely. What is the problem with the line? Is the scheme too difficult? Are they too slow, too weak, not nasty enough? What is missing?"
Well, I think there's when they're struggling at this level, it's a variety of things. Now, you do have to acknowledge the second half didn't look bad.
Well, they were better.
Now, the third quarter, you dominated time of possession in the third quarter. And you dominated the number of plays. So in the fourth quarter, you figured, they're going to have an advantage over Michigan State because Michigan State's tiring, and the offensive line did begin to look pretty good in the fourth quarter. You have to acknowledge that their play was acceptable in the second half.
Why did it take that long? If you have that in you, Then why?
Well,
take
I mean,
that
again, circumstantial. I think largely Michigan State's defense wearing down, you dominating time of possession. But they create the offensive line helped create that scenario, so you got to give them that. You got to give them the second half. They did take a step forward in the second half. The offensive line absolutely did. They were moving people a little bit. Pass blocking is the biggest issue, by the way. It's a bigger issue than run blocking. Pass blocking. We went through the numbers. Jake, we went through the numbers twice.
We did. Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now at 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels, 2 Bagels and Joe. SIP has a winning record so far in the reset. Today's topic is NFL stadiums.
Oh,
do you know
wow.
what teams play in these stadiums? Now, sponsors have changed over the years, so don't get mad at me if you get this wrong, that you weren't up to date on the new sponsor for these stadiums. 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
All right, 464-5685. Call the Nick Down Sip and Trivia. How do you feel about NFL stadiums?
Not bad. I have the NFL teams in front of me, and sometimes that'll
you click.
Yeah, it'll click in my head. Is Aaron on the line?
Yeah, Aaron, how do you feel about NFL stadiums today?
I feel very, very good. But let me just say this about the pass blocking. It'd be hard for any quarterback to have to read which way his offensive linemen are going to fall before he can look at which way he wants to throw it.
Well,
that's a good point, Aaron.
I
Who's
can't
going to stumble here out the gates? All right, Aaron, first question goes to you. What team plays at State Farm Stadium?
That would be the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, that's correct. I'm going to give you. I don't know where my ding went here. That's right.
Jeez, that sounds like a
I know.
personal
By law,
problem.
okay, that's true. I don't know. My sound effect is gone. I'll figure it out.
Can you just do the ding?
Ding, ding, ding.
All right. Good job. That was good.
1-0 lead. I don't know what. I'll figure that one out. Okay. All right, Sip, for the tie, you're down 1-0. What team plays at TIAA Bank Stadium?
Isn't that where Urban Meyer coaches? Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ding, ding, ding. I need my ding.
You need your ding.
I will have it for tomorrow. I promise you that. All right, 1-1 tie.
Again,
I apologize for that.
Seems like a lot of information, maybe too much.
No.
You don't have your ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Aaron, for the lead, your last question. What team plays at First Energy Stadium?
Ooh, First Energy Stadium. Ooh, is that the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, it is.
Ding, ding,
Ding,
ding.
ding, ding. You found your dinger. Good job. Good job. You found your dinger.
All right, Sip, this is for the tie.
Well, you got to do the dinger.
I'm trying to find. I know. I'm trying to find. There it is. All right, here we go. I think I got it.
All right.
I got it. All right.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, Sip, for the tie, your last question.
Yeah.
What team plays at Lincoln Financial Field?
Oh, God. That's got to be the Eagles.
Look at this. We're going the tiebreaker 2-2, and this will go to Aaron because you had the last tiebreaker, Sip. Aaron, this goes to you. Soldier Field in Chicago has the smallest listed capacity in the NFL. What is the listed capacity of Soldier Field?
Ooh, I was just looking at this the other day, weirdly enough. I want to say 63,000.
Okay. All right, Sip. Over, under,
God, he put
63,000.
a number out there. I'm going to say just under. It's amazing.
61,500 is the listed capacity. Aaron, nice game. We'll get you a bagel and a coffee. Thanks for calling, and call in down the road.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys. I just get to continue to be frustrated.
That's okay.
The Husker
That's
football
okay.
game bleeds on for him.
Thank you, Aaron. Kid Cudi, what is the record now? Kid Cudi? What is the record since the reset, Jake?
I think you're like 9-5. 11 and 6. 11 and 6. Look at this guy go. You're a playoff team now.
Since the reset, yeah.
It's a 17-game NFL season. I think that's a playoff team. 11 and 6.
I am Urban Meyer.
No, he's not a playoff team. He's
bad.
They are bad. The Jaguars are bad. They did have a kick return though, a field goal kick return. End of the first half, the Cardinals tried a 68-yard kick. Now it might have been downwind a little bit in Jacksonville. They don't have Justin Tucker as their kicker. They got somebody else. It was short by about 5 yards, and Agnew. I forget to say Agnew for Jacksonville at the end of the half to get 109 yards.
Oh God.
The other way for a halftime lead, 14-7. The Jags led.
Hello.
And that was it.
And they lost.
We lost badly. Yeah, there was a flea flicker attempt that was horrible by Lawrence. He threw it to a guy for a pick six, and that was the game early on. And
all right, we'll do your NFL
yes, tomorrow. We will do it 6:45 tomorrow. NFL winners and losers for week 3. There's some obvious winners and some obvious losers, but we will wrap things up next with a spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer on Early Break in the Ticket.
Hi, Andy Neal of Cartridge World. We are not a big box store that sells everything and specializes in nothing. Cartridge World is your local expert when it comes to streamlining office printing and scanning. No big box can match our proven no-cost lease program. We customize solutions that supply you with multifunction printers and all the required service just for buying cartridge roll, ink, and toner at a 30% savings. Call for a no-cost consultation, 464-3455, or go online to cartridgeworld.com.
It's homecoming week for Nebraska, and Brown's Shoe Fit is giving away free red Caterpie laces this entire week, no purchase necessary. Just come into Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q this week through Saturday, and you'll walk away with free red Caterpie elastic shoelaces. Check out their comfort footwear for the game and take home new pairs of Hey Dudes, Brooks, New Balance, Danner boots, Keen or Merrill hiking boots, and more. Gear up for the fall at Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q in Lincoln.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future. And I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Deck City is Lincoln's DIY deck headquarters. With real deck professionals, they can help you throughout the entire process. They also offer financing for qualified customers. Deck City offers the best quality materials so you have a deck built to last. There's everything from Yellowwood lumber to the best quality TimberTech composites on the market and high quality aluminum railings by Westbury or Diamond Piers for easy footing install. For those looking to bring your wood deck back to life, they offer good proof ready seal stain. Deck City, your deck material headquarters, is now open Saturdays from 9 to 1, 2 blocks north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Talk to your local Landmark CTS about John Deere Planter Performance Upgrade Kits and take advantage of savings during the early order program. Install the latest technology for your current John Deere planter with individual row hydraulic downforce that reacts quickly to changing soil conditions, increasing ground contact, improving seed depth consistency, or a Maxi-Merge 5E upgrade kit with electrical drive meters. Get industry-leading accuracy and performance from the ExactEmerge row unit technology. Stop by your local Landmark location today for more information and to experience the Landmark difference.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, success in rehabilitation is measured in breakthroughs. Taking a step after a brain injury, feeling reassurance after a spinal trauma, saying a word after a stroke. We bring hope and healing to adults and children through clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and innovative technology. After traumatic illness and injury, when some might say, I can't, at Madonna we work hard to say, now you can. Learn more at Madonna.org.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
We're on the air.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jake. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time for the spillover with Connor Happer and Mike Schaefer on Early Break. Good morning, gentlemen.
Hello.
We were just talking during the break about college football. I asked Happer, said, who's the guy right now in the, I know it's early, but is there a guy in the Heisman race that's pretty obvious? And you said Matt Corral.
The leader is Matt Corral.
But
according
okay.
to the
Is there anybody, like, who else
odds.
is in the conversation right now? Who's good right now as the individual player?
Pull up your Heisman odds
in college football.
Yeah, pull that up.
Because I think the normal teams, Clemson sucks right now. They lost again to NC State over the weekend. Bama, of course, is probably going to have somebody in that conversation.
Yeah, we don't know who
Heisman.
right now.
I don't know who that is.
It'd be Bryce Young. wouldn't
Bryce
it?
Young
the
is-
quarterback.
I think
I
Bryce.
think he's the highest odds leader. Or
Okay.
he was.
Corral is plus
Corral is
150. Bryce Young plus 300.
Okay, good job.
JT
So that
Daniels
flips.
plus 1700.
JT Daniels.
So that's
Georgia.
a big gap.
Yeah, so you basically have two favorites that play each other this weekend. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Alabama.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, that is.
No, I've often
Feels like a lane train day.
Yeah, I've often kind of got to the point where Jake sort of is right here during the offseason, where you look around and it's like, who the hell are the stars in college football this year? And when it being a weird year with everyone sort of winning, losing, guys like Spencer Rattler struggling, DJ, last name I can't pronounce. from Clemson.
Uiagalelei.
Ukulele.
That. I'd be closer to Sipple's version than to Happer's phonetic pronunciation. So with guys like that struggling, it sort of creates, because we were sort of blessed with like this great run of like you had all these guys, and maybe Matt Corral was on a Joe Burrow like run here this year where he kind of went from a guy to the guy. But it feels like this could change a bunch over the next few
Yeah,
weeks.
Nebraska took a guy out of it this past weekend. Kenneth Walker was getting talked about as a.
Yeah, he would need to have
Plus 8,500 right now.
a big bounce back.
Yeah.
And Michigan State needs to win games, and I don't know that they would win enough. Like, because you have to have either a really cool story, you have to be at a bad team and do really well, Robert Griffin III, Lamar Jackson. You have to have a signature win, Johnny Manziel, or you have to be one of the 5 best players in football.
Yeah, Matt Corral's interesting because if he walked
be
in
an
the
Alabama
ticket right now,
quarterback.
we wouldn't know. I don't think you'd know who he is. You might just think FedEx delivery man or whatever.
I think he looks more like a football player than a
I
delivery
mean,
man.
context is important here, Simple. If Matt Corral walked in, I would be pretty confused.
You wouldn't know who he is.
Probably not,
You
because
wouldn't
I
recognize
would
him.
not in a million years expect Matt
There
Corral to
could
walk
be
in.
somebody that could walk over from Target and I could say, Happer, there's Matt Corral. And you'd say, oh, really? I'd say, no. It's just a guy
I feel
from
like
Target.
Happer would not say, "Oh, really?" on that
really?
one. I mean, I'm going to defend Happer for a second here.
Do you think if Jimmer Fredette walked in, what would your
I know
response be?
what he looks like only because my former sports editor's from BYU and
Well,
you were on
cheating.
Jimmer Watch.
I used to watch him. You know what I'm saying? No, nobody even knows who Corral is.
I don't think that's true.
Oh,
Would
Happer.
he be wearing his like signature kind of bandana headband thing?
Okay, but if he was just dressed in normal attire,
He's a really
Isn't
highly
that
recruited
true of
quarterback.
most-
He plays in a
no,
great
you
offense.
know Rattler.
You would know Rattler.
Yeah, you know Rattler.
Because
I would know
Rattler
who
is
all these
also
guys
more
look.
distinctive looking.
I know what all these guys look like: Corral, Bryce Young, JT Daniels, Rattler.
I would not know what Bryce Young looks like.
I wouldn't either. I have no idea.
I mean, I watched him play, but I wouldn't.
Anyway,
I
it's
wouldn't
just to,
sit here and
it's
say
just
that
to
I know what he
illustrate the point that Matt Corral's not exactly a household name at this point.
He will be after he wins this weekend.
If they win,
If they win.
If they
yeah,
win,
the lane train.
Fun story.
Anybody would? Could I convince you Lane Kiffin back to USC? Anybody?
I mean,
Absolutely. It'd be a great hire for
them. Do
them.
they want him back? Is the question.
I don't know that
you
they
want
would
him back.
be willing to go down that route.
I don't know
again.
if they will. I don't know if they would.
Lane Kiffin will certainly be of interest to someone hiring, but whether he wants to leave, because you go and you beat Alabama this week.
Exactly.
What else do you?
He's the hot coach.
Isn't
What
Ole
is
Miss
there
a
for
pretty
you to
good
go
job
to?
though? Do you
I'd
want to leave that? I mean,
say
that's an SEC job.
I
but
mean,
they've had success
historically,
in the
no.
past. No, I know.
Ole Miss hasn't won anything.
Yeah, Houston Nutt had some success down there.
Yeah, I wouldn't call
he
it
was respectable.
Yeah, less success than he had at Arkansas, though, right?
Respectable though.
Yeah.
Speaking of Arkansas,
success in Ole Miss is 8-5 with a win over Mississippi.
Speaking of Arkansas, Sam Pittman, ladies and gentlemen.
Arkansas is a problem. They're a problem. They beat Texas.
Yes,
A&M,
they beat Texas,
A&M,
and they
over the
beat Texas A&M. Now, hold on, stop.
They're the champions of Texas.
Yeah, Pittman has beat Texas and Texas A&M this year already.
Hell yeah.
That's Arkansas beating Texas and Texas A&M.
And they were horrible for years with Bielema and Chad Morris was terrible at Arkansas.
awesome.
You can turn around pretty quickly in college football, apparently.
Chad Morris recruited really well. That was what he was known for at SMU. Recruited very well at Arkansas. Couldn't manage everything else. Left. Sam Pittman, who's also an excellent recruiter and regarded as one of everyone's favorite assistant coaches in college football. I mean, he's been around to a bunch of different spots. Came in and he's done a really, really good job. I mean, if this isn't evident, and it never is, because there's always the conversation of who could someone actually go get. College football coaches exist everywhere.
Yes, they do.
Sam Pittman was not a head coach anyway. He was an offensive line coach.
Yep.
He had been under very successful administrations. He knew what he wanted to do. He dominated the interview, and now he's doing very well.
A lot of people could do it.
And that's a good sign. I hate to bring everything back to Nebraska, but if you can do it at Arkansas, you can do it.
It is the sun, Sipple. For us, it is the sun.
We have a phone call to take here on the spillover. Tucker, you're on early break / the spillover. Go ahead, man.
Hey, just wanted to make one statement. There was a guy this weekend that had a 5-yard punt.
7.
So we ain't at the bottom of that barrel. Just wanted to state that. And wish y'all a good day.
All right. Thank you, Tucker.
That
So
the
what-
7-yard punt was not the worst this weekend.
Wonder who had a 5-yard?
Which is an incredible statement
Is
to
he
say.
talking about? Is he talking about? Like
he's talking about actually somebody had a worse punt.
He's saying that someone had a worse punt.
Is he talking about like a
than
Pee Wee
Princeton.
League in Lincoln? Some little kid he had a
And
5-yard.
Nebraska once
had
punted
the
it
5-yard
backward,
punt?
so it's not even the worst.
Yeah, that's
Caleb
punt
Lightmore,
in
was that who
team
that did
history.
that?
Yeah, Caleb Leitner hit one up the chimney one time, right?
Did against Minnesota.
Yeah,
He also almost missed
Right.
that kickoff at Ohio State that one time.
He's at Idaho right now. He's punting in Idaho.
As the listeners are well aware of, Nebraska's special teams have had issues
for some time,
for more than just this year.
I can't find who punted it 5 yards, but I'm interested.
Yes, someone was worse than.
Well, you have a project.
7-yard punt.
You have a project.
Yes,
I'm
I'll
a little
spend all day on
disappointed
this.
that there hasn't been some audio played of that riveting game in Las Vegas.
Well,
I thought that the spillover on Monday was about game winning and/or game losing field goal.
What riveting game we talking about, Shafe?
I believe the Dolphins, who I was told on Monday last week, were going to go and win in Las Vegas, guaranteed.
For the reason being,
The man that speaks for the people spoke for the NFL, and he guaranteed a win.
I did.
He guaranteed a win over the Las Vegas Raiders. And
I did.
As I text you guys very early, the Dolphins scored in this game.
They were up 14-0.
They
Thank you
were
very
up
much.
14-0.
And then 14-2 after the stupidest play call in the history of the NFL, a screen pass in the end zone.
Did that set you back?
It was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
it was terrible.
Did that set you
Stupid
back?
play call. The Dolphins then give 25 straight points, forced overtime miraculously, and there was no PI called, an obvious PI in the end zone. Should have been a game over. Dolphins win, but of course, that's how things go, and the Dolphins lost 31-28. Congrats to your Vikings, though. Nice win.
Thank you.
Good
And
job, Shafe.
you can't say scoreboard anymore. We're both 1 and 2.
It's fine.
And your team actually did put
You got the
points on the
Colts.
scoreboard.
Shafe
this
was
week,
in
so
East
Justin
Nice
Tucker.
job, Jake.
Justin Tucker is insane in Baltimore.
that was I took a
66-yard
2-hour
field
nap,
goal.
and I woke up just in time to watch Justin Tucker hit that crossbar.
That's the
and
most
go in.
Lions loss you could have.
Great.
A 66-yard field goal against you in your own dome to lose the game
It was
while you're leading.
Just sitting on my couch saying, "Oh my God, this is amazing. I love football."
Were you sitting on your couch saying that Saturday night when Nebraska?
No, I was sitting in this poorly lit studio saying, "What the hell are we doing?" Fielding texts from people that were saying, "Man, this is Nebraska's biggest win since when?" And I was like, "You shut up right now, because you know this is."
I enjoyed you sending like the screenshot of how many texts that you had there. I don't know what point of the game this was. If it was, the end of the game,
It was
if
just after the game.
yeah. And I was just like, man,
pain.
I'm glad that's him and not me.
Pain.
It was surprisingly quiet on my end.
I throw them all on mute or whatever.
Right. You have to.
Group
There's
chat
no
mostly?
other way.
Yeah, it's all a group chat.
Yeah.
That's painful. All right. Well, Dolphins suck.
It's time for the 2-minute drill.
I understand.
Hot
All right, Jake.
Red 7. Hot rock. Down. Set.
Unlike Jacoby Brissett.
You know what doesn't suck, though? United States of America Ryder Cup team, 19-9 victors over Europe. Did you watch any of that, or did you watch all football this weekend?
I did watch quite a bit of Ryder Cup.
Be honest with me.
I was at a bar before the game on Saturday and watched Ryder Cup, and Wisconsin and Notre Dame play Big Ten style.
Are we
football.
back? Are we back, Jake?
The USA is all the way back.
All the way.
Hey, all
the way back.
Great to hear.
They're not losing for the next decade in the Ryder Cup.
Wow.
The Euros are old. They got no young talent. It's over. Over.
This proclamations from you on Monday
I
tend to have a
speak
great
for
history.
the people. Happer and Shaper's up next for Steve Sipple. I am Jake Sorge.